Fact: 1 birth in 1,000 results in a child who is dependent on assistive technology to sustain life. Fact: more children than ever before survive serious birth defects and severe trauma due to advancements in medical technology. Fact: hundreds of medically fragile children are inappropriately placed in adult nursing homes or intensive care units because caregivers think they have no other options. Fact: there are options. Broward Children's Center has been providing life-changing options for these special children for 3 decades. And not just options. This very special place is a true haven for medically complex and medically fragile infants, children, and young adults.
The center began 30 years ago when a group of volunteers got together to try to assist parents in keeping their children at home. Up until that time, the only alternative for children who were severely handicapped was institutionalization.
Today, this community-based private nonprofit agency in Pompano Beach, Florida, provides a full spectrum of critical services for children of special needs, including medical, educational, and therapeutic services, both at the center and in families' homes. In addition, Broward Children's Center provides transportation services and even counseling and support services for the families of special needs children. As you will see, each program has at the core of its mission the goal to help every child, no matter what their condition, live life to their fullest potential. The main facility at Broward Children's Center provides care to more than 30 full-time residents, many of which are ventilator-assisted and are among the most technologically dependent children in the country.
As a pediatric skilled nursing care facility, we provide 24-hour nursing and respiratory care to technologically dependent children, ranging in age from newborn to 21 years of age. Upon admission, the interdisciplinary care plan process begins. Team members, the physician, the nurses, respiratory, rehab, dietary education, social services and activities. They evaluate the child's needs, they write goals and set objectives. We have 2 pediatricians, and one of them is on call 24 hours a day and provide weekly clinics here at the center, and more so as needed. So they're very, very involved in the children's care.
It's a little more proactive in the sense of certain type of rehabilitations as well too. They have access to physical therapy, occupational therapy, they have the school here.
The nursing facility relies on some of the most technologically advanced medical equipment available to ensure not only that residents receive the best possible medical care, but that they are able to be as mobile and active as their conditions allow. This includes wheelchairs with sip and puff controls, mobile respiratory units, and a tracking system that allows each child to be constantly monitored wherever they may be in the center.
The remote alarm system allows us to track the residents while they're using their ventilator or oxygen sat monitor. It tracks each resident and the caregiver assigned to that resident. That allows us to answer these alarms within about 1 minute, which is the goal. This really allows our residents to have a lot more mobility than they normally would and still receive the high level of care that they need.
All the children, the 36 children in our skilled nursing facility, when I started 30 years ago, they would have died. They would not be alive right now, and that's because of the technology. And with the technology growing as it is, I think that population is definitely going to grow.
These type of facilities can decrease the burden on the hospitals and the intensive care units, get the patients out of the hospital quicker, decrease the cost of just intensive care bed usage, and free up intensive care beds for the patients who need them.
Every child needs to learn, to expand their imaginations, their abilities, their world. In response to the fact that educational needs of handicapped children were often overlooked, Broward Children's Center began to develop educational programs for children of all cognitive levels. This concept quickly flourished and expanded to include preschools, which now serve children from the center as well as community children.
We have an integrated educational setting here at Broward Children's Center where we have medically fragile, complex children and developmentally delayed children attending classes with children that are typically normal developing children. There really is no other alternatives for these children. I mean, to have a child that is medically fragile, that you couldn't just take this child to a normal daycare center because they wouldn't take them. They're not qualified to take care of the needs of these children.
There are many enriching features to the newest preschool that add to the children's enjoyment and stimulation. Brightly colored classrooms, murals in the hallways, and a dream the center worked very hard to make a reality, a therapeutic playground.
Throughout the playground, you'll see the opportunity for a variety of experiences. We have independent panels that allow for language development, language stimulation. We have water play table, again, for just some play as well as fine motor development. We wanted to develop a playground that would really add a great benefit to their overall learning and their overall experiences. We wanted to provide opportunities for climbing. We wanted to provide opportunities for using stairs and slides. Those are the kinds of things that kids do naturally, but kids who have delays or disabilities do not do them so naturally and often don't have the opportunity to do them.
We were able to obtain funds from the Ronald McDonald Foundation as well as Publix Market to construct that playground, and I think that is something that we're all very pleased with and the children love it.
It's very important to understand that the children here do not have to pay to come to school here. It's all provided through the Department of Education, Broward County.
We would be unable to provide them with these opportunities. We'd be unable to grow as a department, as a school, and really as a facility overall without funding.
The educational program at Broward Children's Center continues to flourish, and it is no doubt that the program will expand to reach out to more and more children. One of the most important components of care for a handicapped child is therapy. At Broward Children's Center, the therapy department reaches out to a broad range of children in the nursing facility, the preschool, and throughout the entire community.
Our department provides occupational, physical, and speech and language services to all of the programs at Broward Children's Center. In the past 5 years, we went from a department of 3 staff therapists to a department of 23, 24. So right now we're servicing about 265 children in the Broward County community, which is real exciting. Additionally, we go into local preschools or daycare centers if that's what the family wishes also. We really do try to look at the child as a whole, so even if we're not all working co-treating, we are always meeting and talking about the kids, and we all work on one another's goals. We've had a couple of kids who have come in and been, doing absolutely nothing, and they're walking now, and they're talking, and they're able to play and interact with their siblings or play and interact with their families, and that's real exciting. Okay.
Many families try to maintain their special needs child at home for as long as they can. For these families, Broward Children's Center offers 2 critically important programs.
A lot of families choose home care services as opposed to residential care because they want their special needs child at home. They enjoy having the family unit in place. Our program assists parents and helps them maintain a special needs child at home. Some of our children require 24-hour skilled care because they're not stable children. And without that care, the child would be unable to reside at home.
The respite program, I think, is vitally important for families who keep their children at home. To have to deal with a child, a special child like that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week can be exhausting.
Respite services are largely different than home health services. Respite provides up to 8 hours a month as opposed to on a daily basis. They provide monthly services to families, and the term respite in Latin means break.
We are looking at developing a 6-bed respite home which will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for parents who need time out.
Parents of a special needs child should not feel guilty about utilizing these services because they need to acknowledge that they need a break.
The group homes operated by Broward Children's Center are unique. They give children and young adults the ability to live in a home-like setting while still having the life-saving care close at hand. One of these facilities is a state-of-the-art, semi-independent home for young adults, believed to be the only center of its kind in the United States.
The importance of the group home for young adults was we were trying to prevent the young adults having to go into maybe a geriatric nursing facility where they didn't have peers in their age group.
We've had difficulty funding children who are over 21. Their conditions do not change when they reach the age of 21. They remain very, very fragile in their medical conditions. I remember when one of our young men, we went to get him, he turned 21 and he was in a nursing home and there was no more funding for him. When I showed him our video, he wanted to get in the car and go with me immediately because he did not believe that there was a place where he could actually get out and not have to stay in all the time.
The home is set up so that they can be independent as far as cooking or washing, making their own food, picking out, their own dinner. We set up a computer area which was via a grant to station computers in Group Home 3 so that the residents would have some more independence if they chose any type of career.
I was wanting to do graphic design because I've been working on doing graphics for about 4 or 5 years now, and I taught myself a lot, but I wanted to learn some more from school, and I couldn't really find a good program for it. So I'm going to do web design now. I just got finished designing the website for the center, and it took me about 2 months to make it. I put a photo album of different activities we do and some of the staff, and just put a list of the services the center offers.
Even though they have medical components, we send a nurse with them to school so that they're able to mainstream themselves into the public school system. We really get them out into the community. We encourage activities on a weekly basis, either going to the mall or grocery shopping on their own.
We go out a lot, usually just basic stuff, movies and mall and stuff. And pretty much once a year we go to Disney, and that's always fun. If I ever see a concert or anything I want to go to, I can just ask and they'll get tickets for it.
Broward Children's Center has always maintained quite an aggressive attitude. If you can get in a chair, you can go outside. If you can go outside, you can get on a vehicle. If you can get on a vehicle, you can go to the mall. And so we've just kind of progressed gradually like that.
We do have a psychologist that is on board once a week to speak with the young adults, all of our young adults, in order to discuss their needs, their wants, their concerns. My goal for the residents here is to have them understand that there's nothing out there that they can't do, that they want to do. If it's school, if it's traveling, as long as you've got the medical assistance with them, they can do anything.
Broward Children's Center has been a vigilant pioneer for special needs children, but they have only touched the surface. The center will continue to expand and enhance their services as long as they see a need for these special children.
Basically, I think I've been totally motivated by the needs. If I see something that's not done, then I figure out a way to do it. We have one little girl in here, and I remember when she came in, they said she has the lungs of somebody who's been smoking for 30 years. Well, right now she's walking around. So if we hadn't said right there and then, we're gonna work with her like her lungs were fine, she would have gotten out of here and still been way behind.
I've been in this field for over 20 years, and this is my favorite place that I've ever worked. You get to fall in love with the children that are here. You really make a big difference in their care.
I come in and I give 100% or 110% if need be, in order for these kids to really have the life that they can have.
I think it's important that people know, as sad as this could happen to you. A young woman who's 16 years old just came in 2 weeks ago who walked out in front of a car, and she was a cheerleader and everything was fine. And I just think there, but for the grace of God, could go any of us.
The entire staff at Broward Children's Center will continue fighting for more funding for the lives of each and every child under their care and for the rights of special needs children everywhere.
One of the things that I think is really needed now is a national organization to advocate for these children. I think the thing that I would like to see understood by more people is the fact that even though these children are hooked up to machines, they still have the needs of children, the emotions of children, and the desires of children.
This is their life, this is how they grow up, and we make them have the best possible time under the conditions they're living in. It really is a great feeling of satisfaction.
Fact, Broward Children's Center is a special place for very special children.